welcome to another live sort of gaming, streaming, talking video. And in today's video I want to talk about the PlayStation 6. So forget the Switch 2, that's old news, that's out, and etc. Don't know what Microsoft are doing. They've got these little handheld collaboration with ROG, but the latest news and the big buzz in the gaming world is that the PlayStation 6 is coming, which we knew about, obviously, because we've had the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so the 6 is inevitable. And when you think, oh wow, PlayStation 6, and we haven't had the PlayStation 5 that long, why are they suddenly bringing out the 6? And well, they have actually. The PlayStation 5 came out in 2000, so the PS5 is now 5 years old. And it's not unusual for companies to think far ahead. Even before the 5 was out, they were probably thinking about what they were going to do with the 6. You got the 5 Pro, which nobody ever counts pro consoles because they're just little speed bumps that offer a little bit more experience for those on that platform. PS4 Pro, nice console, bit of a waste. PS5 Pro, expensive console, bit of a waste. But the PS6, well, that's going to have to be faster and more powerful than the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, otherwise it's going to be pointless, unless Sony decide to go completely skew-whiff and do just portable only, or maybe they want to sort of get in with a Switch kind of thing and have this hybrid console, PS Vita 2 stroke PS6. I doubt it. Sony, as much as most people want it, I don't think they're going to get into the portable market again. It's just not. It's not an area that they've had much success in, and I don't think they will even try again. You got the Portal, yeah, that was just a bit of a flat one. But on talking about the PS6, so there's been some latest news about Sony and AMD joining together, making this super chip that can think for itself kind of thing. I'm not going to say AI because I hate the way AI, but it's machine learning. And Sony have even said themselves they've got to do something that really pushes the boundary of gaming. Do we want just another bigger, faster PlayStation? I've said this in the past, since we got like past the PS3, that's all we've ever had. PlayStation to PS2 was a big jump. PS2 to the PS3 was a massive jump, and then we've got the 4, which was the 5 really can't hold its own at the minute. The 4 is still hanging around. So the PlayStation 6 has to be something amazing, and not just in terms of graphics, etc. It's got to push the boundaries of game, and Nintendo, even they have fallen flat with the Switch 2. It's just a bigger Switch with a few fancy features on it. They haven't gone down their usual let's bring out something weird and hope it works, which it generally does. But PlayStation like to keep it a bit more safe, so it is going to be a faster PS5 Pro in a box with a controller. I can't see them doing much else. The VR route for them hasn't really taken off. PSVR was a bit of a novelty. PSVR 2, people thought Sony had forgotten about it until a few games were released recently. So I don't know. The PS6, it's coming. 2027, 2028 maybe is when it's going to be released. In the next year or so we should start seeing a bit more leaks or hard and fast rumours, maybe some case designs, maybe just a whole sort of thing about it. But yeah, the PS6, unless it is something absolutely mind-blowing and brings something new to the gaming market, I think it's just going to be another. I mean, people haven't really taken to the PS5. The PS4 is an absolutely rock-solid console. I love the 3. The 4 has been around for about 10 years, eaten well into the PS5's time. It's still going to be kicking around when the PS6 comes out. And I'm pretty sure there'll still be games released for the PS4 when the PS6 comes out, unless Sony flatly refuses that to be allowed, because the PS4 is an absolute behemoth of a console. It doesn't seem to want to go away. We had Black Ops 6 last year on the PS4, 4 or 5 years into PS5's life. Black Ops 7 will not be released on the PS4, so that's given the PS5 a bit more of exclusivity, and I'm pretty sure a lot of developers will be doing that. But the PlayStation 6 is almost here, a couple of years away. The PS5 is going to be one of those consoles sandwiched in the middle, which it's good. It didn't have much to itself. It's got a lot to live up to from the PS4, and it isn't doing that. And the PlayStation 6, well, it could be make or break for Sony, I think. The PS5, despite me not thinking it's done very well, it's done record sales. It's done very well for Sony, but it is a glorified PS4 in most of its attempts. There are some PS5 exclusive games, but not many, and people are still hanging on to the 4. So with the 6 around the corner, we need to kill off the 4. We need to really show that the 6 is more powerful than the 5 and more capable and all that. It really needs to have a massive pulling point, because I know a lot of people that still haven't gone up to the 5. They may go from the 4 to the 6. That might be a good jump. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Sony and the PlayStation 6 and whatever direction Sony are going in? They're quite closed off, our Sony, although they're fairly predictable. Here's a console. It's called this number because it's the one after the last number. We might dip into portable, but we might not. We brought out a Portal, but it's not really a handheld console. It's a screen sharing device. I don't think we're going to see another PSP 2 or a Vita 2 from Sony. I think that whole market has been squashed by the likes of Nintendo with the Switch, and all these other sort of emulation handhelds, the ROGs and the PC handhelds and the Steam Deck, etc. Sony really, it's going to be a hard market for them to get into. So, who knows? Maybe PS6 will have a portable mode, and they'll take it that road and it'll give it a nice new spin. Or maybe the PS6 will just be a super duper fancy PS5. That's my prediction anyway. Let me know what you think. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.